Many Gen Z kids see conflict as a personal attack rather than an opportunity to grow. They avoid it at all costs, which robs them of chances to navigate through tough conversations and build problem solving skills. They almost kind of just avoid it and wish it away. So, how do we help them become more resilient? Because we know that challenges will come. It's a matter of when, not if. They will have setbacks and they will come up against things that they may not expect. Okay, today we're talking about building resilience in our girls. We'll explore why this generation in particular often struggles with resilience. If you haven't noticed that with your own daughter, I sure have with my own children. And I'll share 3 practical tips to help your daughter develop her own recovery plan for when challenges arise. If you are frustrated with how to get your teenage daughter to open up to you because all you want is to connect with her as you once did, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Jeannie Baldomero, a former rebellious teen, now mom of 3 young adults, educator, and the mom mentor, equipping you to create open communication with your girl so she can come to you about anything, even if she's scared. So grab your oat milk latte, breathe, and let's do this together. You're listening to this because your heart is breaking from the changes that are happening in your girl that is affecting your connection with her. Your once cuddly, talkative little girl is now growing up, but with the cost of silence, emotional bouts, and you get the short end of the stick. You fear these disconnections and challenges you're facing right now is affecting your relationship with her. And what will the future hold between the two of you? How will you get through this season without losing the closeness you once had and so desperately want? Mama, I want you to know you are not alone. As lonely as it may feel and almost embarrassing to share with even your closest friends about this because you feel like you're failing at connecting with her, this is common. It's a season. However, I know that you don't want to sit idle during this time. So here it is. This is what I want to tell you, that you can do hard things. This is a season of hard, but you will get through it by equipping yourself with the right tools to turn this all around. I invite you to explore what could be possible for you. Head to talktoyourteengirl.com right now. I want you to join me and let's equip you together so that you can relate and reestablish your connection with your girl. That's talktoyourteengirl.com. Before we get into the how of the recovery plan and how we can help our girls become more resilient, let's first talk about why so many of our teens find it hard to bounce back from setbacks. You have to agree with me that we just react a little bit differently than our kids do, and it almost baffles sometimes me and my husband how challenges are being faced by this generation. It's not that Gen Z lacks the potential to be resilient. They're just navigating a completely different world than we did. And sometimes we need to stop, understand the world they're living in for us to be able to help them move forward. We can get stuck oftentimes in comparing how it was like back in the day when we were raising ourselves and how we were pretty resilient, but it's a different world. So let's stop and think about it. If you were a Gen X mom like me, you probably remember riding bikes without helmets, drinking from the hose, and figuring out a lot on your own. The struggle was part of our everyday life, and no one was there to bubble wrap your experiences. Now, fast forward today, we kind of almost did that for them too. I think we learned from our own experiences of the struggle, the everyday struggle, that part of our parenting was making sure that our kids did not feel that, right? On top of a lot of things that are happening. Many Gen Z kids have been raised with so much already done for them. Technology, while amazing, has made everything instant and convenient. Like food delivery. I mean, DoorDash, I didn't even know how to use that. Google for answer, ChatGPT, GPS for navigation. Remember the Thomas guides? Gosh, I remember telling the kids, we used to find our way around through a Thomas guide. And they're like, what is that? I said, it was this huge book. that you had to look through before you even decided to go, and somebody had to read the directions to you. I mean, can you imagine how did we survive? Now it's GPS that practically tells you exactly when to turn. These conveniences have created a world where waiting, wondering, and figuring things out feel so foreign. And I have to admit, nowadays, I think about drinking from the hose and ew, we really actually did that. On top of that, most social media gives our girls an unrealistic view of perfection. Okay, can I get an amen from that? From perfectly filtered photos to highlight reels of achievements, and there's nothing wrong with that. They've grown up thinking that mistakes and setbacks means that they're failing. If something feels hard or imperfect, they're more likely to believe it's not worth pursuing or they've done something wrong. And let's not forget the fear of conflict. Oh, many Gen Z kids see conflict as a personal attack rather than an opportunity to grow. They avoid it at all costs, which robs them of chances to navigate through tough conversations and build problem-solving skills. They almost kind of just avoid it and wish it away. So how do we help them become more resilient? Because we know that challenges will come. It's a matter of when, not if. They will have setbacks, and they will come up against things that they may not expect. Well, here's the key. When challenges arise, and they will, it's not about avoiding the discomfort. It's about having a recovery plan. A recovery plan is simply a way to process setbacks, learn from them, and move forward stronger. Think of it like teaching your daughter how to get up after falling off a bike. Instead of focusing on the fall, you're equipping her to get back on and try again, right? We're not saying, okay, you fell, we're going to put the bike away, or we're going to punish the bike. We're encouraging them to do it again. So here are 3 practical tips. Grab your notebook, mama. 3 practical tips for helping your daughter build her own recovery plan. So number 1, normalize setbacks, and let's help them reframe failure. So the first is really normalizing the setbacks. Make sure your daughter knows that challenges are a part of life, that there will be challenges, and that failure does not define her. I have a quote in my office that says, failing forward. We fail forward. That when we fail, it's a chance to learn from that opportunity so that we can move forward. I want you to share stories of your own struggles. Your daughter wasn't there, or probably didn't even pay attention to your life, even as a mom and going through some struggles. She wasn't there when you were a teenager. Share stories of your own struggles. Let her know about the times you failed and what you've learned from those experiences. And then we also want to reframe failure as feedback. If she gets a bad grade or doesn't make the team or has a falling out with a friend, help her see these moments as opportunities to grow. Maybe ask her, what can you learn from this? This is something that I've taught my kids. What can you learn from this? Or what could you try differently next time? Tip number 2, build emotional agility. Resilience isn't about ignoring emotions. Yes, disappointment, anger, sadness, longing. It's about managing them. Teach your daughter how to name and process her feelings. For example, if she's disappointed about not making the team, acknowledge her feelings. It's okay to feel sad or frustrated. Then guide her towards some constructive action. Model emotional regulation yourself. When she sees you handle stress with calmness and problem solving, she'll learn to do the same. And tip number 3, encourage problem solving and growth mindset. You want to help your daughter become a problem solver. And Talk to Your Teen Girl framework, I actually have a tool in there, a PDF where one of the problem solving tools is to set some goals. and as well as a problem-solving form in there where she can really break down her feelings, what she wants to solve. And it's just an exercise that you get to take your daughter through and you do yourself so that, one, it builds open communication in a constructive way. Two, it takes the emotion out of it. And three, she knows you're for her. And that is within the Talk to Your Teen Girl framework. When you take that course, you have that as a tool to help her. So instead of fixing everything for her, ask open-ended questions like, what's one thing you can do to make this situation better? Or what would you like to try next? I want you to encourage a growth mindset by praising effort over results. Her effort over results. I would tell my kids, I'm not so much worried about your grade. I'm more concerned about how you got that grade. If you got a C, but you worked your tail off getting that C, I think that's great growth. So if she's working hard and trying new strategies, I want you to celebrate that because she's learning to persevere, to be resilient even in times of challenges she's still pursuing. Just reminder that resilience is built through effort and persistence, not overnight success. Just because she's tried it once, that doesn't mean she automatically solves her problem. It's how many times do you get up and try again? So moms, I hope this has helped you. Let's recap these tips. Number 1, normalize setbacks and reframe failure. 2, build emotional agility. And 3, encourage problem solving and growth mindset, right? She can do this. It's about growing, not shrinking back down or choosing to stay stuck. Building resilience is your daughter takes time and patience and lots of practice. I mean, as a grown woman, it does take some time. I still need to practice my own recovery plan and how I reframe the way I look at things, especially during setbacks. Teach them that it's normal. Teach emotional agility and encourage problem solving. Most importantly, remind her that she doesn't have to face challenges alone, that you're her biggest cheerleader and you're able to guide her because you have gone through it too. Ask her this simple but powerful question. What is your recovery plan? And then you'll empower her to see that setbacks are not the end, but it's the beginning of her own growth. Now, Mama, if you find yourself having a hard time to even ask the question of recovery plan because she doesn't even want to open up to you and you don't even know how to even start the conversation of helping her create this recovery plan, talking about her emotions, encouraging to problem solve and don't have the tools, then I encourage you to go to talktoyourteengirl.com where you'll find a course, step-by-step instructions on how to create open communication with your daughter so that she'll be coming to you about anything, where she's going to come to you about what her recovery plan can look like. I'll see you there. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you or encouraged you or helped you in any way, I'd love for you to share it. You can screenshot this episode and share it in your stories on social media or text it to a friend who can use the support. It's the best way you can thank me. I want to let other mamas know they are not alone. I'd love to stay connected with you. You can find me at raisingherconfidently.com. Until next time, live full of grace, Jeannie.